and green. Happy, happy Halloween.
Hello.
Ahoo!
Nice.
It's Halloween.
You didn't put the oi on the end. Should have been
Oi.
oi. Happy Halloween, everybody. This is our Halloween spooktacular, where we're going to not cover a scary film.
No,
No.
everyone's doing that.
Yeah, boring, isn't it? We do a lot of horror films, so we thought, fuck it, we'll do something. Oh, I've swore already. My dad told me off for swearing the other day, because he's actually started listening to
I
it.
see.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll try my hardest, Dad. Sorry.
Well, this is quite scary. It's a musical. That's quite scary for
That's
us.
true.
We've not reviewed a musical before.
No, I'm not.
Talked
I'm
about
partial
a
to a musical, but
Yeah,
we'll
me
get
too.
into that.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Right, let's quickly run through the socials. So please follow us on Twitter at BOTS_podcast. Instagram is exactly the same at BOTS_podcast. Facebook.com/bottom of the stream. You can also visit the website at www.bottomofthestream.com, where you will find every episode we've done so far and the stream table for season 1 and now season 2. You can also find us on Podchaser. If you go there, they're a brand new website looking to be like the IMDb of podcasts. And we have a profile set up on there so you can find, and you can review us on there as well. So please do that, because we like reviews.
We do indeed.
We do. You also review us on iTunes, because is it called iTunes anymore, or am I just being old
I
there?
think it's just Apple Podcasts.
Please review us on Apple Podcasts as well. Yeah, that's the admin out of the way.
Well, I'm Nick,
And I'm Adam.
which you probably already know.
You already know that. This isn't your first rodeo.
It might be new people.
True. We still haven't had anybody in Vermont.
No,
Checked that
that's
the other
true.
day. So we've just got this one state left in America, and nobody's listening there. That's really irritating.
How can we break Vermont?
We need to break Vermont.
I have no idea.
We need to try and... Is there any Vermontian filmmakers that we can review one of their films?
I'll get on
Get on
Google
it.
after.
Get on the Vermontonians. Watched anything good at the top of the stream this week?
I've been on holiday.
Oh yeah, of course you have. How was that?
Very good.
Yeah,
Had a
bit wet?
lot of fun. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I got a new pair of wellies to splash around in.
Awesome. Can't beat a pair of wellies.
So had a lot of fun.
Excellent.
So I was not accessible to Netflix.
No.
So no.
So no.
Nothing from me.
Nothing.
It's all on you, this bit.
Okay, I watched In the Tall Grass.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know I was quite excited about it a few weeks ago?
Yes.
And then did not have time to watch it because of all the stuff we've been watching recently. It's all right. It's quite good.
Okay.
It sticks quite closely to the story. The first half's a lot better than the second half. It kind of falls off a cliff a little bit in the second half. But it's all right. It's worth an hour and a half of your time.
So this is the movie that was an adaptation of the Joe Hill and Stephen King.
Correct. Novella.
And is it this one that was directed by...
The guy who made Cube.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And I've also got some Cube news.
I know you have.
Rolling straight in. Well done. Unfortunately, Cube has been removed from Netflix this week.
Yeah,
Well,
so
last week.
we talked about Cube in season 1.
Yes, we did. I think it was episode 6.
Good guess? No idea.
Might be 6. It's
Get back
definitely in
and check.
season 1 somewhere. It finished really high up in the stream table. And unfortunately, it's no longer there. Netflix took it off.
It might be back. Netflix
Hopefully.
moves in strange ways.
Hopefully they'll bring it back with its sequels, because I'd quite like to watch them. But yeah, so yeah, listen to our Cube episode, but you can't go and watch the film now.
Well, not via Netflix.
Not via Netflix.
There are ways and means.
So that's 2 films from season 1's stream table that's no longer there. Was it Don't Kill It that got removed as well?
Yeah.
They're just picking us off.
Snooze, you lose.
Yeah, definitely.
There were 2 of the better ones as well.
They were. It's a shame.
All the crap still
Keep
there.
Sierra Burgess on there. Okay, now. Oh, I swore again. Jesus. Oh, now I've blasphemed. Which brings me nicely onto my next topic.
Okay.
Because last week we talked about The Clapper,
Yes.
starring Ed Helms. Yeah?
Yes.
Have you got anything to say about Ed Helms?
Yeah, slight bit of admin. I may have been mistaken last week
Yes.
when I corrected you
Yeah.
for calling him Ed Helms.
Yeah, you said he was called Ed Helm.
Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't plural,
He is plural.
but he is.
He
Well,
is
but
indeed.
to be fair, he could have changed his name in the last 7 days.
Maybe. I don't think he has, but maybe.
It's possible though.
Yeah. Okay. No. I'm having that one. You were wrong. I was right. So I did a bit of admin on The Clapper because we said it's a bit strange that it's an R-rated film.
I can't believe we're still talking about
I
it.
know. Sorry. I'll make it brief. So we wanted to look into why it's R-rated.
Yeah.
Because
It
we
shouldn't
couldn't
be.
see any reason why it was. So I did a bit of research, and the is it MPAA in America?
Yeah.
They rate films on 5 categories. So they rate it on sex and nudity, violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs / smoking, and frightening / intense scenes.
Right.
So, sex and nudity. This is what they rated The Clapper. There is a character named Naked Thomas who walks around in public wearing only his underwear. Other than that, he nor no one else shows any nudity.
That's it.
Yeah, this is it. 2 men shortly discuss a time when one of them caught the other one masturbating. Now, that was a very brief scene.
I don't even remember that bit.
And then on a TV show, a female model is a guest where her clothing is short and revealing. No nudity, but a lot of flesh. I don't remember that bit.
No.
Okay. Violence and gore, none-recorded throughout. Alcohol, drugs, smoking, none-recorded throughout. Frightening / intense scenes, none throughout. Profanity. The following swearing is recorded throughout.
How good.
F-word 14 times.
Is it?
Damn 4 times. S-word 3 times. Ass 2 times. Mother effer. 1. This is how it's written. I'm not censoring myself.
You picked a good time to stop swearing.
1 times. Bull S 1 times. R-hole 1 times. Crap.
What's your R-hole?
R-hole. I think it's armhole.
Okay.
Crap 1 time. Also, the following blasphemy is recorded throughout. God's name is taken in vain 7 times. 6 as OMG, and 1 as God. And that's it. That's why this film's rated R. Or that film's rated R.
It feels a low bar.
I feel like they've been really harsh on it.
Because Naked Thomas is wearing like the biggest pair of old man
Yeah, he's
Y-fronts.
very much not naked.
Like massive pants.
Yeah, he's very much not naked. He's just called Naked Thomas. But yeah, so that's why it's rated at R, but I feel like it's been very unfairly judged.
Possibly the only thing unfairly judged about that film.
Yeah, because it's garbage. Don't go and watch it.
I'm glad you did the thorough research.
Yeah, I did some
Thanks
research.
for clearing that up.
Probably should have done it before the episode, but I've done it in this one. Have you got anything else you need to do?
I do have
Have you got a Halloween game?
a Halloween game.
Amazing. I love your games.
So, I will make a confession. I did kind of come up with the name first.
Okay.
And then the game second,
Nice.
which isn't usual. How is your knowledge of emo band members?
Terrible.
How is your knowledge of Disney characters?
Also terrible.
Well, this should be fun then, because we're about to play Emo or Nemo.
Amazing. I'm really up for emo or Nemo.
Good.
Cool.
So, I have got some names in front of me, and you need to tell me, are they emo, i.e. member of a band, or Nemo, i.e. a Disney character?
I can't imagine this is that difficult, but okay.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Grumpy. Disney
Yeah.
character.
Princess Aurora is not on this list. Okay, so
Okay, cool.
we'll go usual rules.
Yep.
Give you 5.
Best of 5.
You get 3.
You win.
You win.
I'm up for that.
Good. Right. Let's start with Bert McCracken.
That's definitely not a Disney name.
What?
Bert McCracken.
Oh, Bert McCracken. Mary Poppins.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
No.
You tell me.
This is a emo.
Correct.
Yes.
He's the lead singer in The Used.
Oh, is he?
So 1. Good. Good start.
I feel like my brother's going to be quite good at this game.
Okay, next one.
He loves his Disney.
Yeah.
Go on.
You were a bit of an emo back
I
in
was
the day.
back in the day, yeah. But, not anymore.
Okay, next one. Nick Wilde.
Oh, that sounds familiar. I'm going to go Disney.
Correct.
Is he from Cars?
No, he's
Oh.
the fox in Zootropolis or Zootopia.
Ah, yes, okay. I think I watched that at your house once.
Probably. It's probably on in the background with.
Probably something to do with your kids.
Yeah, probably. Okay, good. 2-0. Good
Cool.
start. The next one. Don Carnage.
Don Carnage, that's a great name.
Yeah. Carnage is spelled with a K.
It sounds more like a wrestler's name than anybody else's name. I'm going to go emo.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Don Carnage is Nemo. He is a Disney character.
Who is he?
He is the bad guy in Tailspin.
Wow.
Do you remember
I
Tailspin?
do remember Tails.
So he's a wolf.
Oh, right, okay.
Good. Okay, next one. Flynn Rider.
Oh, great name. That's a cool name. That's got to be a Disney character.
It is, correct.
Yes. What's that from?
He is from Tangled.
Oh, right. I've
And
not seen Tangled.
He is an actual human.
Oh, an actual human
Yeah.
in Disney. Wow.
And the last one, John Foulfellow.
Foul Fellow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome name. It sounds a bit more Disney, though. Disney.
Correct. He is also a fox from Pinocchio.
Ah.
Yeah, well
I
done.
did really well there.
Yeah.
I'm quite proud of it. I'm quite good at your games. I must come up with my own one week and see how good you are.
That would be, yeah. I'd
I do
happily
enough
give it a
work
go.
on this podcast. Takes me all my time just to edit them. Right, I think that's enough admin.
Yeah.
You ready to talk about the film?
Let's do it.
So this week, as it's Halloween, we decided we were going to do something a little bit different. We broke our own rules, went off of the list. We didn't use the list, that's what I'm
Correct.
trying to say. We picked a film ourselves. We wanted to do something that was as opposite to a horror film as we could get. So we went with Emo, the musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is from
It's a bit spooky. It's a bit
It's the
dark.
emos.
Yeah, exactly.
Emos are evil. So it's from 2016. It's a 12A. It's an hour and 34 minutes long, and it's currently rated at 6.2 on IMDb.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stars the very confusingly named Benson Jack Anthony, whose name is backwards, as Ethan, Jordan Hare as Trinity, Robert Adams as Bradley. It also stars Geraldine Viswanathan.
Easy for you to say.
Not very much so.
It wasn't the first time
No.
she turned up.
No, she's been in a film on the stream table before, in
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah, the package.
She was in The Package. She played Becky.
She was the best thing in the package.
She was the best thing in The Package. But there isn't many good things to say about The Package.
Do you know what? When we picked this film last week,
Yeah.
I thought in no way, shape, or form is there going to be anyone I recognise in this film.
No.
Let alone someone in a film we've
Already
already
talked about.
talked about. So that did blow my mind a little bit.
Yeah. Very strange. But she plays a character called Jamali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a member of the Christian group,
She is indeed.
a Hope group. So this was her first movie.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Written and directed by a guy called Neil Triffitt, who also wrote and directed the 15-minute short film that this film's based on.
Yes.
I also watched that.
Oh, okay.
I found it on YouTube.
Tell us a bit about that.
So it's a very similar story. It's all different actors. And yeah, it's very similar. It just starts off... I don't want to spoil it because then we'll spoil what we talk about the film. But it's a love story between an emo and a Christian.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes long and it's worth checking out on YouTube if you fancy it. There's one song the same
Right, okay.
between the two. Do you want to give a brief synopsis? Have you got a brief synopsis?
Yeah, basically, an emo falls in love with a Christian.
Yeah, that's basically what happens. And
So,
hilarity ensues.
There's a guy who moves to a new school, and it's a sort of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
Spin,
star-crossed
isn't
lovers. Yeah, it is. That's basically what it is. Now this is the second Australian film that we've done, with Bait being the first one.
Yes.
And we said during the episode of Bait that when you do an Australian film, you have to talk about how many people are in Home and Away.
Yes.
Or were in Home and Away.
And again, I'm relying on you for this. Your superior knowledge of Home and Away.
Surprisingly enough, only two.
That's more than I thought.
Two people have been in Home and Away, but a lot of Neighbours.
Oh, really?
And one Coronation Street.
They get around these Aussies.
They do. I checked. I actually went through every member of the cast on IMDb.
Good for you.
I've got too much time on my hands. Yeah, so we do that with Australian films because I think every Australian person ever has been in Home and Away at some point.
Was one of them the teacher?
Yes.
I thought I did vaguely recognise her
Yeah.
from somewhere.
You don't watch Home and Away?
No, but
Why would you have recognised?
Well, I've seen little bits here and
Okay.
there.
I don't think any of them had major starring roles in
Okay.
Home and Away. They were just like little cameos. So the film starts with Ethan, who is an emo, I guess.
Yeah, very much.
Hence the title of the film. And he's jamming away on a guitar, singing along. And this big fat lad comes up and just smashes his guitar.
Yeah. Just as he's getting into the flow of the song.
Yeah, just rips it out of his hands and smashes it in half. And yeah, so we get into the first song of the film, which is about being an emo. And he's getting beaten up as he's singing,
Yeah.
as he's going through the
So
song.
he's getting dragged around school. He gets his head flushed down the toilet. He's singing about having no friends, and I like the bit where he's talking about self-harming, but
Yeah.
he's doing it fake. So he's putting scars on his wrists with
with like a Sharpie.
Sharpie.
Yeah. It's a very... I mean, this is a funny film. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's not a
So you don't
serious,
sound sure.
it's not a serious take on an emo lifestyle. This is a comedy. All the songs are funny.
Oh, it's all very tongue-in-cheek.
It's all very tongue-in-cheek. That's what I'm trying to get at. So at the end of the song, we see him with a noose, and he ties the noose around a tree, and he's standing on a picnic table in the school grounds.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching him from the windows and from the school, and then he jumps, and then it hits straight into title card. You don't see anything after that. It just goes Emo the musical, and that's where we begin.
Yeah. And then it opens back up on the sign of a new school.
Yes. So he's starting his career at his new school.
So Ethan has been expelled.
Yeah.
And there's a few sort of, well, not, I almost said spinning newspapers. It's not quite that much of a trope. But it's
like in the old Batman cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's like paperwork being stamped saying he's been expelled and then he's been accepted at this new place.
Yeah.
And he is instantly bullied, isn't he?
Yes.
In his new school.
Yeah, he is. This was quite funny.
The two poshest bullies.
Yeah.
Most well-dressed
Least
bullies.
intimidating bullies ever.
I've ever seen. And they say to him, we can take your lunch money by cash or we accept card payments.
Yeah, and he brings out one of these chip and pin machines. Yeah. It was quite good. It's a good little start. Quite funny little start, I thought. And then he gets introduced to Isaac and Jamil as a name.
Yeah.
And they're going to take him on a tour around the school.
Yeah, so they've basically been volunteered.
They're like the good kids.
Yeah, introduce him around.
And while they're on this tour, he sees a poster advertising auditions for an emo rock band. And being a guitarist, he gets quite excited about that.
Yeah. So just to clarify, so at his previous school, he was the only emo.
Yes.
And he's already seeing, there's more of us.
There's other emos at the school. So he wants to be a social emo.
Correct, yeah.
They weren't called emos when we were at school. This is a relatively new thing. Well, not new, because we're quite old. But since we left school. So we used to call them goths.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few goths.
But there's loads of, you can break down all these subcategories.
Suppose,
so you can
Am
have
I being
goths,
an emo racist?
Goths, greasers,
Greasers.
screamos.
What were you?
I didn't. To be honest, I was a bit older when I got into all this sort of music.
I was as well. I'd already left school, but
yeah,
I was a nerd, if anything.
Yeah,
still am. Yeah, so he sees this poster advertising the band. I can't remember what was the name of the band.
Worst Day Ever.
That was it. Classic name.
It's advertising the band. There's the auditions for the band, and I think there's a few posters up advertising the contest that's upcoming as well.
Yeah, because there's a rock band battle of the bands type thing.
Yeah, so the school state song contest. I think
I don't know what's wrong with me. So after that, he sees this pretty girl singing in the corridor of the school with a backing band behind her. So there's lots of this sort of thing going on.
Yeah, the Christians turn up, don't they, with their guitar and a tambourine and start singing in the corridor.
Yeah, she's singing songs about it being all right to give up.
Yeah,
and that's quite a good song as well.
So they're trying to recruit people to come to church with them and
Yeah.
join the Christian group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a youth group, isn't it?
Exactly.
Christian
Yeah.
youth group. And so she's singing about that, and then they have a bit of a chat afterwards. And my line of the film comes really early on, because what he says to her is my line of the film here. Because she's recruiting, she's asking him if he wants to come to youth group, and he tells her that he's a science-addicted, sex-educated atheist, which I thought was really funny. It's a great little line to start right early on in the start of the film. I just enjoyed that line. I'm going with that as my line of the film.
I like it.
Yeah, then school life just kind of ensues, doesn't it? From there, they go to PE lessons and
Yeah, so
things like that.
there's a couple of occasions where Ethan is trying to sort of catch the eye of the other emos.
Yeah.
And they kind of just give him the emo shoulder, cold
Yeah.
shoulder. Are emos cold? They look cold.
Yeah, they're always cold.
Yeah.
That's why they wear those big coats.
Yeah. They're all very milky, aren't they?
Yeah.
So he can't get their attention, basically.
Yeah.
Until he manages to get detention
Yeah.
during a PE lesson.
Yeah, because he tricks the teacher into cancelling the PE lesson, doesn't he? Yeah.
And as I say, that gets their attention. And then I wasn't quite sure if they're in detention and that's when they do the audition. Because all the emos were just together.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure. It doesn't really
It doesn't matter because the auditions are next.
Yeah. And he gets a chance to audition for the band.
Yeah. And he does. He somehow manages to play every instrument and sing every line of the song
Yeah, at the same time.
at the same time. But
As only happens in music.
through various cutscenes. And he's singing a song called I Don't Want to Be in Your Stupid Band.
Yeah. He says, well, at the start he says this song doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
Because I'm not into labels.
Yeah,
and I don't care if you don't like it.
yeah. And it's quite a good song. I quite enjoyed that one. It's quite catchy.
So, mostly the songs are alright in this.
Yeah, I agree. I think most of them are alright. I've had one stuck in my head all.
My criticism would be there's a couple of them that just cut off
Yeah.
just as they were getting going. And it's almost like there's a couple of them that are more skits rather than
Don't really fit.
a proper... Yeah, or they're not quite a proper song.
Yeah.
But again, don't get me wrong, this is obviously a really low budget
Yeah,
micro budget.
This is a low budget Australian musical.
Yeah,
It's not like Sweeney Todd.
You're not going to get any sort of Busby Berkeley, Bob Fosse numbers in this. You know,
I
it's
don't even know what that means, but no, you're right.
you know, tap dancing downstairs and
Oh yeah, okay.
girls with feather boas and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's none of that. It's kids in black t-shirts.
You know, it suddenly turns out that you go above and there's a synchronised swimming pool going on.
Yeah,
All that sort of stuff.
I know what you mean. And after he's finished singing his song, he gets told about this guy called Doug Skellington. Skeleton, not Skellington. It's not Jack Skellington's brother, who is an emo legend. And he's from the school that he is now at.
Yes, and he will be judging the
And he's gonna be
state
judging
song competition.
Yeah. So basically, this is heading to a song contest, isn't it? It's a bit like Rock School.
Yeah.
School of Rock.
So Bradley, who's the lead emo,
Yeah.
and singer and guitarist in the band, tells Ethan that he needs to be super emo, basically,
Yeah.
to join the band. Being a decent musician isn't good enough.
Yeah.
And he kind of says, no, you can't join.
Yeah.
To start with.
Yeah, he says no straight away. As soon as the song's finished, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He says no. But then Ethan tells him the story of when he tried to hang himself
Yes.
at his old school. And Bradley kind of liked that. He was all in on that.
Yeah, he says, well,
So-
we need your story.
Yeah.
You're in.
You're the backstory,
Yeah.
basically. We just need your story. Then there's a girl in the band.
Yeah.
Who's known as Roz. And she comes on to him straight away. As soon as he's in the band, she's all
pounces
over
on him.
She pounces on him. Because it's tradition for the guitarist and the bassist to be in a relationship in a rock band.
Yeah.
So she kisses him. And from that point on, they're kind of in a relationship that neither of them really want to be in.
So Ethan's basically Roz's pet,
Yeah.
for want of a better description,
Yeah.
I would say.
Because he's a really little lad, isn't he? He's quite meek and he's
Yeah.
not very imposing.
No, there's
for an
nothing to
emo.
him.
There's nothing to him. And in the next scene, he gets paired with Trinity, who is the Christian girl from earlier, for a music assignment.
So they have to write a song.
They have to write a song together. Did it have to be a love song? It did, didn't it?
Yes.
It had to be a love song. And so they go to his house, don't they? They go to Ethan's house because they can't go to her house because she's a nice Christian girl.
Yeah, she can't bring a boy home.
She can't bring a boy home. That's very much frowned upon. And she asks him why he's an emo. And then she plays him a song. Or she starts singing a song, doesn't she? Because they just break out into song every so often, as you do in a musical. And it's a really weird song about having wonderful fingers and wonderful lips. And
But it's about having a respectful relationship as well.
Yeah.
It's like this Christian
it's got very weird lyrics.
poppy sing-along song.
Yeah.
And they kind of awkwardly bond over it, and Ethan starts to sort of get into it and sing along to it a little bit.
Yeah.
And they have a bit of a moment, don't they?
Yeah, they have a bit of a dance, don't they, as well? And then it gets all awkward because teenage kids and awkwardness happens, and she just runs out and leaves.
Yeah.
So they don't do the homework because she's gone home and they can't do the work.
Yeah, correct.
So she kind of, in the class the next day, they get called upon to perform their song, and she kind of wings it, and she sings on her own to the class about how good they'd be together.
Yeah, they're a match made in heaven and all this sort of thing.
Yeah. And he's kind of in there trying to avoid it. It's all a bit weird. It's a weird little film. But it's quite good fun so far, I think.
Yeah, no, and the songs are catchy. And
The songs are catchy.
Yeah.
I've had one stuck in my head all week.
which one?
The one near the end. What's it called?
Point it out when we get there.
I will do.
That's fine.
And but it's his turn to run out now.
Yeah,
Before
so he
the end of that
runs
song,
out of class.
he runs out of the class because she's doing no good for his street cred.
He's trying to sort of
be-
sink into his hoodie, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's trying to
And
become an emo, and she's singing love songs about
called
him.
out by this Christian.
Yeah, it's not good for his street cred. But she runs after him, and they have a bit of a kiss.
Forbidden love
Yeah.
in the hallway.
Just so at that point, it was found out that worst date ever have got into the rock competition. They qualified, but so have the Christian Hope Group. I think they were just called the Hope Group.
Yeah, they were.
So both their school is sending 2 bands into this competition.
Must have got a wild card.
Yeah, they must have. And then there's a bit of a montage. We have a bit of a montage about how they're both going to win, and they both decide they're both going to win from various different members of the band.
Yeah, and Ethan and Trinity kind of agree to see each other
Yeah,
outside of school,
yeah,
but not talk to each other in school.
yeah. Because they have a secret meeting in the library.
Correct. And obviously because their peer groups would disown them.
Yeah,
And they're both trying to sort of, build their reputations, I guess, for want of a better word.
yeah,
And so they agree to do that,
yeah.
but ignore each other at school.
Their meeting in the library was really weird. Did you catch what the other guy was doing in the library? So as Ethan's walking towards Liberty and who's behind the last shelf.
Yeah.
There's different people doing different things in the library. Like there's a girl sitting on the floor covered in books. He's
Yeah.
obviously cramming for something. Then there's another guy with his back to the camera and his arms moving in a very mysterious way in the middle of the
I
library.
think it's that mysterious.
No, it's obvious what he's doing, but it's very strange. And yeah, that's when they decide they're going to get into a relationship, but it's got to be a secret. Nobody can find out about it. It would be the worst thing ever. And then, as Ethan's leaving, he bumps into the school's token gay kid.
Well, he's not.
Well, no, he's
More than
not.
one.
It turns out he's not, but
But this is Peter,
yes.
who is coming to terms with his sexuality, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And he is very gay,
Yeah.
but trying to hide that.
Yes, and he's given himself shock therapy. He's been to conversion therapy at one point in his life, and now he's got a little thing that he attaches to his finger that electrocutes him every time he has impure thoughts.
Yes.
So he bumps into him, and he drops all his school books all over the floor, and there's a magazine of sportsmen in various states of undress, I think it was, and Ethan clocks that. There's no real judgment to it. It's just a
No.
It's just a little scene.
It's just introducing this character who comes back in a bit. I'm not sure if I really liked some of these characters though. But just because maybe that's a bit strong. There's just not enough time for them to get going. You know, do you know what I mean?
There's
like
a
I
lot
say,
of characters in this.
Yeah, and a lot of time this does come across as, like I say, a series of sketches rather than something that's a bit more coherent and.
Yeah, so the director's only ever this is his first feature-length film. He's only really made short films before.
I think you can see that.
I think you can definitely see that because, like you said, it's like a lot of short films stitched together.
Yeah,
because there's even members of the bands, both bands, that are really like bit part characters. Like, there's a guy called Jay in the emo band. You don't really even find out his name till the end.
the drummer.
The drummer, yeah.
Yeah, because all the way through, I was trying to, when I was making my notes, I've got to get this guy's name. And I think you're right. I don't think it
comes
actually
out
comes
until
out.
right near the end. 'Cause I even tried to look for him on IMDb, but he looked completely different in real life to
Right.
what he looks like in this film. Yeah, completely different. But so yeah, there's a lot of characters in it, and it's hard to keep track of all of them. In the next scene, though, he's in Trinity's room.
Yeah, so I think
she's had a change of heart.
She snuck him in
Yeah,
because the parents don't know about it. They have a sort of a bit of heart to heart, and Ethan confides in her that he didn't actually really try and commit suicide.
yeah,
at his old school.
It was all a ruse.
Yeah,
He's an attention seeker.
Yeah.
That's basically what he is, and that's what it was. He knew the rope was too long when he jumped off the table.
Before you go on, I like the fact that Trinity had a piece of toast on her wall.
Yes, in a frame.
Yeah.
It was a framed piece of toast that apparently looked like Jesus. It was taking a piss of all these stereotypes, wasn't it, of Christian kids and what they believe they can see in things.
I just like the fact that she'd framed it, put it on there.
Because he's confessed his secret, she confesses that she once secretly baptised somebody
Yeah,
in a swimming pool, which I thought was quite funny.
without their knowledge.
They didn't know about it. And then suddenly they hear her parents coming home, so shit's about to go down. They decide they need to hide, and they jump into her closet together.
Yeah, as Ethan says, doesn't this make us look worse?
Yes, which is a fair point. So he decides that, look, we're going to get caught. I've got to get out of your house. So have you got any Christian boy clothes that I can wear? And so he starts getting changed in front of her. And she starts singing a song about him getting changed in front of her.
But yeah, they're both singing, and it turns into a duet.
Yeah,
about
like while they're standing really close to each other in the closet.
Basically about how he wouldn't do anything to take advantage because he wouldn't know how.
Yeah,
and that she's safe.
He's a very naive little virgin boy, and the song's about how she's safe with him.
So he puts on this Christian disguise.
He does, yeah.
So her parents won't think that he's a dangerous emo.
And she lends him a Bible, which is a key plot point.
Yes.
So he takes her Bible home with him. And then we cut to the next day. So we're back at school, and they're doing a rehearsal for their rock competition, the emo band are. And the teacher comes in. There's only one teacher in this whole film.
Yeah, I quite like that. The school seemingly has one teacher.
Yeah, and she does everything.
It was done on purpose, and it was quite a
a
nice little joke.
She was doing the music, and they never said what she was an actual teacher of.
No,
but she kept covering the PE lessons.
She kept saying, "So, I'm not usually a PE teacher. I'm not usually a music teacher." That was quite a nice joke.
Funny. So she comes in and she says, "Look, unless you do sport, you're out of the competition. You've got to pass all of your classes to be in the competition, and you're not going to PE. So you need to get to your PE classes."
We've also not mentioned something that came up earlier, which I quite liked as well, is that the school is really short of money. So they're pretty much bankrupt, and this felt like something straight out of like The Simpsons or something.
Yeah.
A pharmaceutical company has come in and sponsored the school
Yeah. So,
and basically is feeding everyone happy pills.
yeah. Because it's a happy school. They say that all the way through. It's a happy school full of happy kids. But they're all like serotonin boosters.
Yeah,
aren't
and
they? They're feeding them.
increasingly through this film, there's more posters and adverts being stuck up for this pharmaceutical company and for all these drugs.
Yeah, and this woman turns up, doesn't she? Who's like the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
She starts running things.
So there's a lot going on in this. There's a lot of
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's a lot
it's
of
not just like a
little jokes being put in there and running gags through the movie. You know, some of them work better than others, but you've got to love a trier. Do you know what I mean? This is it's quite endearing, this movie.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's inoffensive and it's quite good fun. So they go and do their PE lessons, and it turns out Roz, who's in the band, is quite good at PE. Basketball, she's quite good at basketball.
Yeah, she wants to be a basketballer.
She wants to be a basketball. She can't let Bradley know about this because he's an emo.
Yeah, you can't have an emo basketballer.
You can't have an emo basketballer. So that's her secret. Everybody's got their own secret. Where are we? Is this where they find the Bible?
Yeah, so Bradley finds the Bible in Ethan's bag.
Yes. Yeah, because they're having a smoke, aren't they? Because Ethan had told Jay earlier that if he ran out of cigarette papers that he could use his maths textbook, but he'd used all of the pages. So he went through Ethan's bag and found the Bible and showed it to Bradley. And Bradley has a breakdown.
Meanwhile, Roz has taken Ethan to the cinema.
Yeah.
And he breaks up with her.
Yeah, because she tries to kiss him and he doesn't want that.
Which is the setup for another musical number about how she's going to stalk him, not leave him alone.
And kill him. And she's going to kill him at one point.
Stab him to death.
They're singing this in a cinema while the film's still playing in front of everybody.
Yeah. And they're running along the tops of the seats.
And they're trying to get away from. He's trying to get away from her. And as they come out, Bradley confronts him about the Bible, and he says he was going to burn it. He's stolen it from Liberty, and he was going to burn it.
Yeah.
So Bradley's like, okay, so burn it. So he does. And as it burns, you see the cover like burn away, and it's got from Mum and Dad inside. So it's Liberty's parents.
Trinity. I don't know who
Who's
Liberty
Liberty?
is. I don't know.
She's that statue, isn't she? Yeah, it's Trinity's Bible from her parents, and he's just burnt it. So that's not going to go down well. Then there's a really strange scene. So he goes to see Trinity after that.
Again, this works better almost as its own little sketch.
It does.
So Ethan goes to her house, to Trinity's house.
Yeah.
And the other three guys from the band, the emo band, are across the street watching him.
Yeah.
So he's been tasked with delivering this Bible back to her.
Yeah.
Or the remains of this Bible back to her. And she Trinity opens the door and she's in a swimsuit.
Yeah, she's in a swimming costume, yeah.
And she says to him, "Oh, come in. We're in the pool.
Yeah.
Let's go for a swim." He's like, "Well, okay."
Yeah.
And you expect, we're in Australia, they're gonna have a
big
swimming pool in the back. It's it's hot all the time.
Yeah.
And it cuts them sitting in a little paddling pool.
Tiny little paddling pool, the two of them. He's just in his boxers.
Yeah.
She's in a swimming costume. And they're sitting in a paddling pool together.
And then
there's nobody else there.
Yeah. And then the camera cuts to a sort of partly used tanker. Yeah.
Small tanker
of holy water
with a big label on it. As if she's got this like holy water tanker somewhere.
And she's going for another sneaky baptism.
Yeah, she's trying to sneakily baptise him, but he spots it. He spots the tanker and he calls her out on it. And he just leaves.
He gives her the burnt Bible.
Yeah, he gives her the Bible.
Breaks up with her.
Yeah. And they sing a song.
They sing a song about how they miss each other already.
How they're being forced apart, and other emos are over the other side of the road watching and kind of following. And
so then we see Worst Day Ever go and play at a house party. So they're actually going to play a gig. So they have got a competition to practice for and all that.
Yeah.
So they go and the gig goes down quite well.
Yeah.
Ethan kind of has to step in when Bradley messes up his guitar solo.
Yeah.
So he ends up taking a lot of the plaudits.
Even though he was told at the beginning to do nothing fancy, Bradley says just play, don't do anything fancy.
Yeah.
He went out there and did something fancy.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And the gig went well.
The song was called We're All Gonna Die.
Yeah.
It's a great song. But yeah, it all went well, but you can see there's a tension starting to build between Ethan and Bradley.
Yeah, of course there is.
Yeah.
And then, again, cuts to something a bit different, and this was my favourite bit in the film.
It was good.
So this is the scene when Peter and Trinity are at how would you describe this?
Well, there's a nun there.
So nun is basically leading. It's almost like part confession, part education of why you shouldn't be sinful.
Yes, they're basically all confessing their sins, aren't
they? And they're asked to rank the commandments.
Yeah.
From most important to least important. and Trinity has a go at it, and then gets basically just
She gets berated.
by the nun. Why have you put adultery? No, why have you put murder higher than adultery?
Yeah.
And she says the correct answer is that they are all at number 1.
They're all number 1. It's a trick.
Yeah.
Bloody tricky Christians. So after that, she has a bit of a... They're all confessing their sins. The gay guy's there talking about his impure thoughts
Did you see
a girl.
Did you see the poster behind him?
Yes.
I like. This is the sort of thing I liked about this film. So the poster behind Peter, as he's talking, it just said, "Jesus, the only man you should be getting close to."
Yeah. So Peter's talking about this girl that he's fallen in love with, and he's having impure thoughts on. Girl being in inverted commas, and Trinity talks about Ethan and how she's having impure thoughts about him.
Yeah.
And she blurts out about his suicide not being real.
Yeah.
That comes out in the conversation.
Yeah. So that's overheard by Isaac, who's there, who's taken her to this class.
Yeah.
And Isaac's the sort of leader of the Christians.
Yeah, he's the anti-Bradley.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's obviously he's put that in his back pocket. It may come in use later.
Yeah. And so Liberty, I've said Liberty again. What is it with me and names?
I don't know.
Can't do it. Can't do this anymore. Trinity sings a song called Could Jesus Have Been an Emo?
Best song in this
The
film.
best song in the film. I'm glad you said that because it is the best song in the film.
There's some good lines in this.
Yeah, there are.
So, was Jesus an emo? He felt the pain of all mankind. Emos do that all the time. I liked it.
Great.
They persecuted him like an emo.
And the nun's really not happy. She's all the way through the song. She's
Pipe
trying
down.
trying to shut her up. And at the end, she gets excommunicated.
So this is about the time where you find out that Isaac's not all he seems, because he's actually got Jimmy all pregnant.
Yes. So
Naughty boy.
The little Christian kids are not as Christian as they think they are.
No, not squeaky clean at all.
No.
But Isaac then goes and prints out a load of posters of Ethan.
Yeah.
With with the headline that he's a faker.
Yeah, it's just called just this faker, doesn't it? And then it explains about his suicide.
And he's got quotes from ex-schoolmates because he's gone on
Facebook
or whatever. Facebook. Yeah, whatever the non-suable equivalent is in this film.
Yeah.
And blown his cover.
Yeah, so obviously Ethan blames Trinity for this because she's the only one who knows.
Yeah. So the emos have had their cover blown.
Yes.
And as you say, Ethan's image as this dangerous
little psycho
is
suicidal
sort of down the toilet.
So there's a really good line from Jay at this point.
What does he say?
Ethan's sitting outside, like, all with his head in his hands, all sorry for himself. And Jay comes over and he says, "I've only ever seen Bradley this angry at Christmas." I really like that. That was almost my line of the film.
So the worst day ever decide they need to do something to get their image back on track.
Yeah.
So they go and smash up all the Christian group's instruments.
Yeah, they've got an axe
in the chapel.
Ethan smashes the guitar up with an axe, and Jay gets the tambourine and a fork, a garden fork, a small one.
Yeah.
And he puts it through the trampoline. What is wrong with me? Puts it through the tambourine.
Into his leg.
Into his own leg. Stabs himself in the leg. So they all start to freak out a little bit. And they have to get out of there. But before they go, Bradley says, just set it on fire.
Yep.
Set the guitar. Is he setting the guitar on fire?
Yeah, but but the guitar's on the altar.
Yeah.
And they're in the school chapel.
There's an image of Jesus burning.
Yeah.
And it's the whole room goes up. And the principal gets fired. For some reason, because of this. This comes afterwards, because there's like a school assembly, isn't there?
Yeah, so the punishment is basically none of these bands are allowed to use, because it's a happy school, as you said.
Yeah.
No negative language.
Yeah.
Or
no
demonic
slogans on your t-shirts.
Yeah.
There's loads of rules that she brings in.
Yeah.
Because now the teacher's the
No
only
negative
teacher. The principal's been
connotations.
fired. The principal's been fired. The teacher who was the only teacher anyway is now definitely the only teacher. So she's doing this school assembly and she says nothing negative now. They will be censored, and whoever she finds who was responsible for the fire will be expelled.
This is good news for the Christian band. It is not good news for the emos.
Yeah. Bradley is not happy. Bradley starts to really go off the rails at this point.
Meanwhile, Isaac is taking a swab of the drum of Jay's blood.
Yeah.
He's sat behind him in this assembly, and he's bled all over the
he's
chair.
Still bleeding. Bradley threatens to kill Ethan because he's an emo, and that's what emos do. They threaten to kill each other. And
I tell you what, this film is a lot more, not complicated, but there's a lot more to it, recapping it, than I thought when I was watching it.
It gets quite dark as well. The ending's quite dark, but we're almost there. But we have to go back to this gay love story that's going on, because the gay guy's singing a song in the gym, or he's in the gym on his own,
Yes.
and the jock guy comes in and they start singing at each other about how they're in love with each
So
other.
this is Peter and Josh.
I didn't
But
catch
again,
the jock
you
guy's
don't
name.
get Josh's name
I didn't think you did.
till this point, I think, or right at the end, because
Because
he
he's been in
pops
it a
up.
couple of times, because
Yeah, he
the
pops
gay
up.
guy's obviously in love with
Yeah.
Josh.
Did you feel this bit was tacked on a bit?
Completely.
These two characters.
This character, there was just a bit to add filler to the film. There was no need for it.
Yeah.
It didn't go anywhere.
I mean, they're quite a positive pair of characters.
Yeah, definitely.
But
They had
it did feel a bit tacked on.
It completely did, and I think they only did it because Ethan stands up for them in a minute.
Yeah.
And Bradley doesn't like that, and that's how they kind of go their separate ways.
Yeah.
So they're singing. Roz is there. She's hiding in the gym because she was playing basketball, or she was practicing basketball on her own.
I thought this was one of the weaker songs as well.
Yeah. I haven't even written down what the song was, so I think you're right. It probably was. But she can see, she's hiding behind some like bleachers, and she can see the two guys singing at each other, and they're like hugging, aren't they?
Yeah.
And she takes a photo and she sends it to Bradley, because he's in the band, isn't he? He's in the other band, so she thinks this is a way
Peter
to
is, yeah.
this is a way to bring down the other band. So they all come into the gym and catch them, and
So does Isaac.
yes,
And he sort of goes in and pulls Peter away from Josh.
because Bradley sends the picture to Isaac,
Correct,
doesn't he?
yeah.
Once Ross has sent it to him.
And he pulls Peter away from Josh and basically says, look, you're going to have to go back to conversion.
Yeah, he's going to send him back to
Therapy.
conversion therapy, because your friends have got that power.
Yeah,
to,
yeah, of course,
to
yeah.
send you to conversion therapy. And yeah, and Ethan freaks out then, because he's like, this can't happen, this is ridiculous, it's 2016.
Yeah.
Just let these guys live. And he quits the band. He tells Bradley he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah, he says, I'd rather quit the band than not help this guy out.
Yeah.
So Ethan's in a dark place now.
Yep.
He's made friends with some emos. He's lost friends with the emos. He's not speaking to the girl he's in love with, Trinity. And he gets into the bath with all his clothes on.
Yeah.
And he's got a stereo.
Yeah, like a little boombox type thing.
And he drops it in the bath with him.
Yeah.
And absolutely nothing happens.
That did make me laugh a little bit, because he kind of just gives up then. He just
Yeah.
gets out. It's like, damn it.
He bungs the stereo on the floor.
Yeah.
And the song.
The song that Trinity was singing to him earlier. Where have I got Liberty?
I have no idea.
The song that Trinity was singing to him earlier.
Are you on
comes doesn't
drugs?
it? Yeah. I wish. Yeah, so that he kind of makes him, well, this must be a sign that I need to go and make up with her. So this is the day of the rock concert.
Yes,
Or the
cut to
rock
the
competition.
state school rock contest.
Nice. So Ethan turns up and he asks if he can join the Christian band.
Yeah, to replace Peter.
Yeah, because Peter's obviously in conversion therapy.
Sent away.
Roz turns up in her basketball gear. So Bradley has another freak out.
Yeah.
Because he's the only emo, really. And Ethan has to get baptised before he can be in the Christian band.
Yeah, Isaac insists that he gets baptized, and Trinity comes along just as he is getting baptized.
Yeah.
And she's not happy about it. She
Yeah.
says to him, despite the fact that she tried to do it to him earlier, she says that he is still pretending to be someone he is not.
Yes.
And she walks off.
Yes, she's not.
Burn.
But very big burn. So he can't do anything right at the minute, Ethan. He's in all over the place, isn't he? He can't do anything right. And they go to church. They go on stage at this point, don't they? The Christian band go on first. And they sing a song called Come to Church, which is the song that was originally in the 15-minute short film.
Okay.
This song survived this.
Right.
And it is the song that's been stuck in my head all week.
It's-
It's so catchy. It's the catchiest one out of all of them. And it's basically about getting people to join them in church, come to church. They just sing come to church over and over again, but it's really catchy.
But Ethan starts to shred it halfway through.
It does.
So it turns from this sort of plinky plonky, light, airy fairy.
Because Isaac's this time told him to not do anything fancy
Yeah,
as well,
same,
hasn't he? So
same.
as what Bradley told him earlier.
But he turns it into a bit of a face melter.
Yeah.
With a guitar solo, and the crowd starts to get into it.
Yeah.
Again, same as what happened at the house party.
Jamil jumps onto the drums because they haven't got a drummer.
No.
But she jumps onto the drums. Trinity starts to go a rock chick as well. She starts jamming out as well. And the crowd are eating it up. They're loving it. It's a great, because it's kind of a mixture between two songs, isn't it? It's the song that Ethan was singing earlier mixed in with the Come to Church song that they were singing. It's quite good. It's quite catchy. I quite like that song. And then West Day Ever are up. And just as they're about to start playing, the teacher bursts onto the stage and disqualifies them.
Disqualified for arson.
Yes, straight away. So a ruckus happens and Bradley pulls a knife and he gets a knife to Isaac's throat.
He does. He takes him hostage.
Yeah. So, and he says he has to play. This is what his whole life's work is, to come and play for Doug Skeleton.
Yeah.
Because Doug Skeleton's obviously sitting there. This is everything that Bradley's all about. He has to play, no matter what.
Yeah, because Doug Skeleton is an emo legend.
Yeah, and he is his hero. And then Doug Skeleton pipes up and tells him to do what he's told.
Yeah, basically tells him to calm down.
Yeah, calm down, do what you're told. And he basically confesses to being a fraud. He's like, I'm just a normal guy who pretends to be this emo guy.
Yeah, my mum helped me paint the coffin that I jumped out of stage on.
Yeah, because that was his big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That he jumped out of a coffin on stage. And Bradley's whole life just flashes before his eyes at that point. He doesn't know anything about who he is. So he's about to get expelled for arson, but then Ethan jumps in and says that it was him.
Yeah, he confesses.
He confesses to everybody that it was him that burnt down the music room, and he manages to talk Bradley into putting the knife away.
Yeah, he also talks the teacher into.
It's quite convincing, isn't it? He talks him into cancelling PE the other day.
Talks the teacher into letting Bradley play.
Yeah.
And she says, that's fine, but you're expelled as soon as you finish.
Yeah, and she also, because the sponsor woman tries to stop it all, doesn't she? But she ditches the school sponsor.
Yeah.
She says, we might not have any money, but we don't need you.
Yeah, the teacher says, I've not taken any of these pills for a few days, and I feel depressed, but it's fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so they play, and just as they start playing, Bradley kind of catches Ethan's eye and tells him to come up on stage and join them. And then Trinity gets up, and she shares Ethan's mic with him. Then Jamil gets up, and she's got a tambourine, not trampoline. And
we've got a mashup on our hands.
Yeah, it's all going off.
So they basically, yeah, exactly. They mash up several of the songs that have been throughout the movie,
a bit of a remix of
into
all the
finale.
And just as the song ends, the police turn up and shoot Bradley with a taser.
Yeah,
take him out.
I quite like that.
Yeah, it was quite
to make me chuckle.
And then you're kind of just mopping up the loose ends after that. There's a scene where they're outside after the show's finished. Jamil leaves with Jay, even though she's pregnant. She ditches Isaac, don't she?
Yeah.
And she leaves with Jay because they have a bit of a moment. Ethan and Trinity have a kiss, and they walk off together talking about zombie films.
Yeah, and Bradley gets arrested.
He does.
Why wasn't Ethan arrested?
Don't know.
Me neither.
Don't know.
He burnt down part of the school.
Yeah, and he did confess to it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been.
It's not worth thinking about in great detail.
It's not worth thinking
but
about
it did occur to me.
And that's it. That's the end of your film. Until your post-credit scene.
Yes, there is.
I did spot it.
Good.
I don't turn off films now until like Netflix put their next trailer on. So there's a post-credit scene where the jock guy, Josh, he turns up at the conversion therapy and goes into Peter's room.
Yeah.
And they share a room.
He's got a crowbar.
Yeah.
He's going to break him out.
Yeah.
And that is it.
That is the end of your film. What did you think?
It was okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's nothing special. It's good fun. The songs are all good. Or mostly good.
I didn't get as much out of it as I thought I would when I saw the trailer last week.
Yeah.
I thought, this looks like it could be proper fun, funny, catchy. It didn't quite go far enough with some of these jokes and some of the themes that I would have wanted it to.
There are funny scenes in it. And there's a lot of really good jokes in it, but you're right, it could have gone a little bit further. And
the cast's all likeable.
Yeah.
I thought they all did a good job.
The main two, the guy who played Ethan and the girl who played Trinity, I thought they were both really good.
There's a couple of catchy songs. I don't think I'd say any of them were good songs.
No, but they're good music.
There's a couple of earworms in there.
Songs, aren't they? Yeah.
I've already said, like, it doesn't quite flow at parts. It feels like
a bit disjointed.
A bit of a collection of sketches rather than a movie, but it can kind of forgive it that a little bit.
It's inoffensive.
It raised a few chuckles out of me.
Yeah, it's fun in parts. It's worth a watch. If you've got a spare hour and a half and you're into comedy musicals, you're going to get something out of it.
This is absolutely nowhere near any of the worst things we've watched.
No.
Going back to sort of our first series.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. Did you, shall we do our trivia section?
Yes.
We need to come up with a name for this part.
Okay. Leave it with me.
Okay. So basically what we're doing is every week we're coming up with a trivia question, an observational trivia question about the film to see which one of us is the most observant member of Bottom of the Stream. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure it's going to be much of a contest going on the first few weeks, but...
What's the score? Is it 2?
I have 0.
Yeah, I know you have 0. I think I've got 2.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think it's 2-0 to me at the minute, out of 4. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay.
Go for it.
So, there's a scene in this film where I think it's not long after Ethan's joined the band.
Yeah.
And he goes to his locker and the posh bullies come and get him and say, we've still not had your lunch money. Where is it?
Yeah.
And Bradley comes along and says, he's with us now.
Yeah.
And he says to Ethan, that's not your locker anymore, because it's all the lockers have got like Christian imagery on them.
Yeah.
You're over here. Moves him over to the other side of the corridor. Shows him his new locker. What is the number of the locker?
What? This is going to be a complete guess. It's going to be something emo-y.
Well, I'm interested to know now what you think an emo number is.
666, obviously. That's my answer. 666.
No, it's not.
What was it?
51.
Oh. So it wasn't anything emo
No,
or anything.
I don't think so.
I would never have got that. Okay, so still 2-0 to me. Your question. What was the name of the school?
Which school?
The school that he went to.
Seymour High.
Well done, you've got one.
Yes.
How did you know
I
that?
don't know.
I had to go back and check. Well done, you finally got one.
I'm retiring.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you knew that, because it's only on the sign
Yeah.
at the very beginning.
It
of
is
the
quite a
film
lingering
once.
shot, though.
Yeah, but it's only there once. They
Yeah.
only mention it once in the whole film. Well done.
I'm happy.
You should be. 2-1 to me. Should we go to stream table?
Yeah.
Where are we putting it? Shall I run down what we've got so far?
Yeah, just give us a recap.
So far in season 2 of Bottom of the Stream, we've done 4 films, yeah?
Yes.
So at number 4 at the minute, we've got The Clapper, which was last week's comedy starring Ed Helms. At number 3, we've got Michael Inside, which was the first episode of season 2. At number 2, we've got Handsome, a Netflix mystery movie, which was the 3rd episode. And currently at number 1 is What Keeps You Alive, which was episode 2 of season 2. So we need to put this in somewhere. Where are you putting it?
I'm putting it 4 out of 5.
Just above The Clapper.
Wow. It's loads better than the cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the table,
It's not as good as Michael Inside,
No.
is what you're saying. I'd agree with that. I think that's fair at this point.
Yeah.
It's easier at the start of the season.
It's very easy.
Because we agree on stuff. Yeah, it's a good film. I mean, those top 4 films are all good. The Clapper's garbage and deserves to be at the bottom. But the rest of them are all right. We've not had a bad run this season.
I thought you'd like this more than I did.
I probably do.
I'm surprised. No, because you've been quite measured about it as well. It sounds harsh for me to say I was disappointed by this.
Yeah. But when we picked it, we were because we picked this. It didn't come out randomly.
Yeah.
So you kind of have higher expectations just from that. And I mean, I found it, and then when I showed you, you were like, "Yeah, we're all in on that straight away."
Yeah, because
so maybe we did build our expectations.
Maybe it wasn't as
we've kind of cheated our own system.
It
and
wasn't
maybe we've
as out
come a
there
crop
and
as
as
that.
different as I thought it was going to be. Having seen the trailer,
it was very Australian. It felt like watching a musical episode of Neighbours.
It did a bit.
And yeah, maybe we've thwarted our own thing there. We broke our own rules, and maybe this is the reason why we do it randomly, so we don't build up expectations of these things. Talking of doing things randomly, shall we pick next week's film?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so I will load up the randomizer on my phone. Right, so I think there's about 75 films on this list now, because we've added more. You ready for me to press the button?
Do it.
It has picked Hush.
Okay.
That wasn't a request.
Oh, right.
That's the name of the film. So, it's a horror film. We've got a horror film. Do you want to know the synopsis for Hush?
Yes, please.
It says, a deaf and mute writer who retreated into the woods to live a solitary life must fight for her life in silence when a masked killer appears at her window. Sounds interesting.
Good. Sounds well, it's been a few weeks since we've done a horror or we've done a couple of comedies in a row now, so that'll be good to
Yeah, it'd be nice to get off this comedy train.
get back to something like that.
Yeah, so do you want to watch the trailer?
Let's do it.
It was quite spoopy.
That is not the most listener-friendly trailer.
No,
ever.
I think I probably won't put the trailer audio in there, because if the trailer audio isn't in this episode from where we've just queued it up, that's because the trailer's silent, and it would be just 2 minutes of silent.
Which I'm quite tempted that we
Just
should
keep
just
it in.
leave it anyway, but it would just freak people out, so maybe just leave this inane banter in instead.
We'll just leave the banter in. Yeah, I'm not going to cut the audio for that trailer in, but
Go and watch the
go
trailer.
and watch the trailer because it's quite good. There's just no talking in it. Yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to that. It looks like a bit of a slasher film.
Yeah.
Bit of a thriller. Yeah, go out and watch that. We'll, what's it called? Hush. Go out and watch Hush, and we'll be back next week to
Do you
talk
think
about it.
it's got that Cooler Shaker song on the soundtrack?
I hope so.
I used to love that song.
Yeah, it's great.
No one knows
that
what
emo?
I'm talking about. No. No. It was indie.
Indie. That's the word. I was always more of an indie boy than an emo boy.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably still am.
Yeah.
Anyway, go out and watch Hush, and we'll be back next week to talk about it. Happy Halloween.
Ooh. Cheers.
Bye.
Ha 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 ha!